The most erotic temperature to cook a turkey is 375 degrees. Dry wood is non-conductive, but wet wood is very conductive. This is the 2011 film 247 Degrees, which I don't know why it's named 247 degrees because we didn't even get close to that. As a matter of fact, that temperature I don't think was ever uttered in the entire film. Anyways, let's get into it. First thing you need to know, it's a 90-minute movie. It took us 20 minutes to even talk about the sauna, and another like 10 to get stuck in the sauna. So I'm gonna be completely honest, I watched like the first 10-ish minutes, and then I skipped the 20 minutes, and then I started the movie again when we finally got to the sauna. Because the first 10 minutes gives you all the setup you need for this movie, okay? The main girl was, I think she was in a car accident. I should probably also tell you it took me a few days to get through this. But she was like in a car accident. I think her boyfriend died or something to that effect. And she was really shaken up by that, so now she is on medication for her mental health. And she decided this weekend she wasn't going to take because this weekend her and 3 other people are on a vacation in a remote cabin from somebody's uncle who built a sauna inside said cabin. So it's her, some kind of guy friend, boyfriend thing, a best friend who's actually not her best friend anymore, to the fact that they don't really even talk, but they're on vacation together, and said ex-best friend's husband. Okay, so we all pile in the sauna, and then we get too hot, and then we decide we're going to jump in the lake, and then we're going to go back in the sauna, and we're going to jump in the lake, and then we're going to get back in the sauna one more time. I don't claim to be a medical professional, but isn't that like insanely bad for your blood pressure? Like horrendously bad for your blood pressure to go from hot water to cold water to hot water to cold water. But I'm just here for comedy, so who the fuck knows? Anyways, by the last time they go back in the sauna, the husband of the ex-best friend is like completely drunk, and apparently he gets drunk a fucking lot, and so the ex-best friend wife lady kicks him out. He's all like, fine, I'm gonna go smoke my purple sticky punch and play video games. Well, on the way back out, he tripped over a bunch of shit out of nowhere, and then like a ladder got knocked into the door and closed the door completely. And now they can't get out. And the temperature for the sauna is 185 degrees, which is in fact a little concerning because your average sauna should be between 155 and 175 degrees. So we're 10 degrees over. So the first thing they do is they break the window on the door and keep screaming for the guy because they think it's a prank. Then they realize he's not coming back. So they throw some towels out of the door. So they try to move the ladder by like shoving towels out of the door and kind of knocking into it, and that doesn't work. And now they're a little worried about getting heat stroke because they've been in there for so long. But don't worry, they remembered a couple of bottles of water beforehand, so dehydration's not top on their priority list. But then the guy in there with them has a generally smart idea. See, there's light bulbs in there, and if they can short out one of the light bulb spots, maybe they can blow a fuse and it'll turn off the stove. How is he going to do that, you might ask? We're just going to pour water in there, right? Wrong! He soaks a piece of towel and wraps it around the handle of the water ladle and shoves it into the light bulb socket, effectively shocking the shit out of himself. Listen, I'm not going to pretend to be any smarter, because it wasn't until I was Googling did I find out that wood is in fact conductive. That being said, that would not have been my first train of thought in how to blow a fuse. Not even the second thought, or the third, or the 10th. So he's laying there, he's unconscious, he's coughing up blood, he's really fucked up at this point. So at this point the lights are out, and they've got a little bit of a breeze through the tiny window. However, the tiny window has now become a problem because the temperature sensor that's connected to the thermostat that turns the sauna on and off is reading that it's not up to temperature. Therefore, the stove comes back on. So now it's going to get fucking hotter. The ex-best friend has finally lost her shit and starts fucking around with the temperature sensor. And the main girl, like, fucking fights her, hits her. She knocks back and goes unconscious and she's bleeding. So at this point, we are 1 for 3. Well, fucking Sparky wakes up and decides he's gonna lose his shit now, and he tackles the stove. Why? I don't know. Could not tell you. But being as he just tackled essentially a propane grill, it exploded and knocked all those hot rocks back onto him, and he died. And the explosion knocks the door open so the main girl can run out, leaving the unconscious girl in there. She goes into the kitchen where the fridge is mysteriously like full of water bottles. Liter-sized, chili cool, like unbranded water bottles, the entire fridge. And then she goes into her bedroom and just leaves that one girl in there. But surprise! She doesn't. She wakes up and they're still in there. Sparky's dead in the corner. The one girl is still alive. But now we have a problem. We have leaking propane everywhere. There's no more fire, but there's propane and it's building up all in this fucking room. They're not going to be able to breathe. She's trying to stop the propane leak by like shoving things into the gas pipe, which didn't work. She's standing at the door trying to get breath. She's trying to get the unconscious girl up there to get her some air. Meanwhile, the husband guy goes and lights another purple sticky punch and falls asleep on the couch. In the house that's slowly building up propane. That's been building up propane for probably 45 minutes or so. I mean, honestly, once he sparked that up, the whole house should have exploded, I think. So that at this point, everybody looks like they've died, but then the uncle comes around and he moves everything out of the door and opens the sauna, and somehow the main girl is alive after breathing in a shit ton of propane and dehydration. How? I don't know. The end. Were you bored? Yeah, me too. Do you believe in science? Yeah, me too, but not them. Granted, I don't think I would have been any better in this situation. The only thing I could have come up with is, had they taken the ladle, because they did break it in half for some odd reason, and it was pointy, they could have shoved it between, the door and the frame and, tried to pry it open, because the only thing that was keeping it from being open was the ladder. Or the fact that the thermostat was literally right next to the door. Yeah, their arms were too short, but they could have hit it with the ladle. Maybe the idea came to fruition by one person, but then halfway through it was taken over by somebody else, and now we have a discombobulated mess of I don't know what. So 3 out of 10. Learn some safety. Okay, bye. It's getting hot in here. Read your OSHA pamphlets. I am getting so hot. I'm gonna learn about propane.